They say that imitation is the highest form of flattery. With a mime in your entourage, you will feel like you are the most beautiful person alive. That is because, with few exceptions, a mime will indeed imitate whatever actions their teammates perform. With correct positioning and careful planning, you can perform amazing double attacks or double heals. Mimes also have ridiculous stats, making them sturdy units on their own. But before you go off creating full squads of these masters of disguise, know that they won't be able to equip any items or abilities. Hi, I'm Mikey from Tactics Live Tournament, and today I have another episode in the Job Focus series. The goal of these videos is to crack open the hood on each class, present technical information in a simplified way, and help you make better choices when raising your squad. In today's Job Focus, we're going to do a deep dive into the Mime class. And this one is truly unique, as there is no equipment choices to review, no abilities to discuss, but their stats. Oh boy! Now that's where we can have a bit of a discussion. Whether it's single player or multiplayer, this unit can be awkward, mysterious, and underappreciated if not handled correctly. So today, let's clear up the mystery and get to the bottom of what makes this quirky copycat so great in a Mime Job Focus session. Mimes literally recreate every action taken by your teammates, with some restrictions that we will go over. This means they will mimic melee attacks with the same weapon as if they are equipped by the Mime themselves. Magic works in the same way, so being the same distance and facing the same direction to your target to get that coveted double cast is your highest priority. In both of these circumstances, the Mime's stats are taken into consideration to determine their damage or healing. Being unable to don equipment means Mimes are extremely vulnerable to status debuffs and cannot gain additional stat boosts. You will need to keep a close eye on these units and protect them with buffs so they can deliver the most value. To unlock the Mime, you will need a level 8 Squire, a level 8 Chemist, a level 3 Black Mage, level 3 White Mage, level 3 Time Mage, level 3 Mystic, level 5 Summoner, level 5 Orator, level 3 Knight, level 3 Archer, level 4 Monk, level 4 Thief, level 5 Geomancer, and finally level 5 Dragoon. If you're thinking to yourself, what is up with this grind? You're not alone. Attaining this endgame job is not for the weak of heart, but is essential to building the biggest units possible. Normally, we would be going over the abilities available to this job, but in this case, we can give a more in-depth overview to how abilities interact with the Mime and what happens during the mimicry process. Mimes cannot equip any other abilities whatsoever, but they do come with a small set of innate abilities: Concentration, Beastmaster, and Brawler. Mimes do have a few restrictions to be aware of. They cannot mimic other Mime actions, and they cannot mimic if affected by the following status ailments: Stone, Sleep, Stop, Vampire, Disable, Toad, Chicken, Confuse, Berserk, and obviously if they're KO'd. Mimes will not mimic unique character skills like Holy Sword, Dragon skills, Spell Sword, etc., nor will they mimic monster skills. If charmed, a Mime will mimic the team that charmed them. Mimes will always mimic a spell on the same distance and orientation from the caster to the original target. Keep in mind that the direction faced by the Mime will be the direction the caster faces when casting, not the direction they are waiting or charging the spell. A spell mimic costs no MP and are cast immediately without the need to charge. Mimes will mimic basic attacks and replicate the weapon used. They will strike 2 horizontal spaces with pole arms, for instance. However, they are unable to dual wield and will strike with only the first weapon used. Mimes can also not replicate double hand and will strike with the same weapon but at regular strength. Now, let's go over the actions the Mime can actually mimic and if there are any notable interactions. Mimes can mimic the following skill sets: Fundaments, and Focus is particularly useful here. Items, and they do not deplete your inventory when mimicking, so great place to double up your X potions. Arts of War, and will use their own PA and success rates. Aim, and again, use their PA and damage calculation. Martial Arts. Here, Chakra is particularly valuable, as well as Shockwave if lined up correctly. White Magics, with Re-Raise and Holy being strong spells to mimic. Black Magics, where Flare is of particular value. Time Magics. I like to try to line up a bunch of quick casts with my Mime. Summon. This is a good ability set since it's very forgiving with targeting. Steal. And the Mime will use their own speed and MA where applicable. Speechcraft. Again, the Mime will use their MA for calculations, and Mimic Darlavon can be pretty nasty if positioned well. Mystic Arts. Now would look to Mime Trepidation for a quick chicken. Geomancy, and the damage will be calculated with the Mime's stats. Jump, and will perform the same attack in distance and orientation. Eido, and like items, will not deplete Katana from your inventory. Throw. Again, like items, will not deplete the weapons thrown from your inventory. Arithmetics. Well, you can use your imagination for this one. Bard Song, where a rousing melody is particularly valuable. Dance, which is great for male mimes, and Slow Dance is a very valuable skill to mimic.
Lastly, Darkness, with Sanguine Sword being a top pick for skills to mimic.
Alright, the real reason we want to grow ourselves a little mime is here, the class and growth stats. If you need a refresher on how stats will affect your unit's growth over time, check out the video linked above. You'll notice the Mime in nearly all of the suggested jobs to level up with during your quest for super stats. So let's look at those now. We start off with 4 move and 4 jump. That's pretty cool. But then we get a measly 5% class evasion. Definitely would have liked a boost here since we can't have shields or capes. Well, Mikey, when you can't evade, you just gotta stock up an HP. And here in our class stats, we get an outrageous 140, followed up with a 50 to your MP, which you won't need, an excellent 120 to your PA, very decent 115 to your MA, and a hefty 120 to your speed. However you raised your unit before, simply switching them to a Mime makes them look like an absolute beast, amplifying their best stats rivaling most other jobs. For growth stats, we are looking at the best HP growth, literal worst MP growth, the best PA growth, actual MA growth over standard, and standard speed growth. If you want to create an Uber unit, this is the way to go, and the real prize for the player who wants to get their troops stats as high as possible. For a job that requires little in the way of equipment and abilities, the Mime can definitely make you scratch your head in confusion during battle, as they can be tricky units to position, orient, and execute powerful mimicry. Mimes come with Brawler, Concentration, and Beastmaster, which aren't crazy powerful by themselves, but definitely enhance the Mime's melee capabilities. Mimic melee attacks will duplicate the weapon originally used, and use the Mime's PA to determine the damage. The same for magic attacks and using the Mime's Faith and MA. Eido, items, and throw are great to use with Mimes as they do not deplete the items used from your inventory. Mimes will mimic actions at the moment of their cast. This is important to remember for spellcasters who may be charging a different direction than where their target is, will always turn to face them when charging is complete. Mimes have some of the, if not the best stats for growth, making them ideal jobs for leveling with super stats. Keep in mind you'll need to get at least level 3 in 14 jobs, level 8 in 2 of them, so this is best saved for endgame. This concludes this episode of the Job Focus series with the Mime. This was a strange one for sure, and I learned a little bit about this unusual class while researching. If you learned something as well, why not throw it a like to show your appreciation? I certainly appreciate it. Recently, we passed 1,000 subscribers to this channel, and I am super humbled by the congratulations and continued encouragement. All of you in the tactics community have made me feel welcomed, and I'm glad to be able to connect with you in a way that resonates. This is a wonderful group, and I am very happy to be a part of it. Now, we're not just stopping at 1,000 subs, and every new subscription is not just helping the channel spread the word about multiplayer War of the Lions, it's sending a message that this game is still popular, and the players are passionate about enjoying the game with one another, not just ourselves. So hit the subscribe button and join us in getting a bigger group to experience multiplayer War of the Lions with. Lastly, huge shout out to Tactics League for hosting the premier multiplayer War of the Lions forum and meetup spot. Check the links in the description to their website and YouTube. If you haven't yet, pop in, say hi in their Discord, and see if anyone is down to get a game of Rendezvous or Melee. It's quick, easy, covered extensively in previous videos on this channel. I think you'll have a blast, and I look forward to seeing you there. This is Mikey from Tactics Live Tournament, signing off. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, be well everyone.